Hello, welcome to Garden Chronicles. I'm James David, and in today's video, I would like to talk about this particular plant known as Anthurium clarinervium. One of the things about this particular plant is that it's considered a rare type of Anthurium plant, which is quite difficult to care for in this part of the region. Here I would like to talk a little bit more on my experience and my opinion concerning this plant review. So sit back and enjoy the show. Unlike most hardy types of Anthurium here in the tropical region, this particular one is considered as cold hardy. In a way, it has a reverse effect here where when it does not receive a certain amount of humidity and proper care, it might be considered a sensitive plant and easy to die comparison to the Anthurium, crystallinum and magnificum. That particular types are very hardy and easy to care for, unlike this particular one which is very much more fall into the sensitive type. Looking at the leaf features here, you notice that the veining seems to be much more protruding against the background of the leaf. This is one of the unique features for this particular type of Anthurium. I must say there are few of a variation on this particular type where the difference of the veining or the colorization or the type of leaf pattern that is available, which has a slight variation that may interest some collectors. If you can note, the plant price is considered expensive here, easily spending about 1,500 RM, which is, I find that is quite expensive in a point of a premium pricing here. Another factor here, if you were to notice the branch, you notice that there are no pups or babies forming at the base of the plant. This is one of the things about this particular type of Anthurium. When it comes to propagation, you may have to take the risk of trimming the main stem, the trunk, and propagate it through stem cutting, and this is where the high risk takes place, where in case there is a root rot or there is a stem rot, the whole specimen considered a goner, where the whole thing is lost. One of the main important things to do before purchasing is to check through the plant to see if there is any infection or pest problems infecting the plant. Here I notice there's a slight infection here which I'm suspicious about spider mite attack here, which I find that it's a rare occasion. However, I believe that it is due to the lack of humidity this particular pest has attacked the plant. So if you ever notice when a leaf or foliage which has this kind of faded features, something that is appearing to be like eating away the leaf surface, that is actually spider mite. Rarely do I come across spider mites attacking an Anthurium plant, but in this case I believe it's because of the dew factor where the leaves were never misted nor any element of water touching the leaves, hence this appearance of where this pests have taken place. However, the infection is not so drastic and remedy can be made immediately if this has been taken care of for at this moment of time. I believe the intention was very much done because of to avoid any of the fungus infection or rot problem on the leaf. So this is one of the setbacks when you will have to face, where it will be either this or that. So a right balance of both need to be achieved to avoid this kind of pests, either that or to avoid the rot taking place. So in a way, having a very good balance of watering is the key here for the plant success. You will notice that there are some cases where upon the leaves you will find holes appearing on the leaves, and in most cases some of the gardeners and vendors think that it is an infection coming from snails and slugs, which I've noticed that it's actually not true. One of the factors that appears to be is that the element where the leaves were actually receiving too much leaf water on the leaves, and the leaves tend to sort of cause the kind of holes appearing on these leaves. So it's a bit of a kind of a mystery why it happens. It could be a dew factor where it is receiving too much humidity or too much wetness, hence the leaves appears to be rotting. Apart from all these factors, the basic care for any anthuriums will be bright indirect light, watering where it is only watered at the base where it is receiving just enough moisture on the potting media. Here the potting media which has been used here is very much more on a cocoa peat kind of a medium, which I find is quite challenging unless the root ball has established itself. Weekly or fortnightly application of foliar fertilizer will do best. In most cases, I have found that some gardeners use Osmocote on a variation where a high grade one is being used. Always do check on the element of using a premium one so that the plant will not suffer overburn or suffer in a point that it receives burns on the leaf or stem. So in a context of a basic care of lighting, watering and feeding, and also a check and balance with pest control, I find this particular plant does well in a tropical region without much problems. Now, I would like to request if you can actually hit like and subscribe and support my channel, and if you can, do put in your comments on your thoughts and experiences of how you care for this particular type of anthurium plant. Do take note that this particular anthurium is actually identified and known as Anthurium tarantula locally here and in Indonesia. One of the factors that is quite intriguing is that these types of anthuriums are locally cultivated here for ages, and somehow they have formed a unique hybrid where some of the different types of anthuriums have been crossbred. When this has been done after some generations, this particular type of anthurium has now become very much stable, and their formation on their leaf pattern appear to be much more grander and supreme. I can say that this is very much fall into the collector's category, where these particular plants are sold in extreme premium prices with a limited quantity. Therefore, it is not so much available for the common gardener or collector. Rather, these are actually to be seeked out from one collector to another, and the prices that is being sold are normally expensive and in limited editions. Now I have come to the end of my video. Do check out on my photo collection at the end of this video, where I find different variations of types of anthurium plants that is been cultivated here in my tropical region. So see you again in my next video. Have a nice and lovely day. Bye.